What is going on, fellow Rick and Morty fans, and welcome to another video with your host, as always, K-Mac time. And if you guys are excited for Season 3 like I am, go ahead and slap a like on today's video. Now, as we all know, Rick and Morty has some of the funniest and well-developed main characters of any show on television. But what really sets the show apart from the rest is the outstanding cast of supplemental characters. Characters that may only be in 1 or 2 episodes, or they could be semi-reoccurring episodes and characters. Either way, Rick and Morty has an amazing cast of background characters, and today I want to take a closer look at the top 10 funniest of them through Season 2. Now, with Season 3 only days away, I'm sure we'll be getting loads of new characters that are also amazing, but since I haven't seen those episodes yet, I obviously can't put them on the list, but I will redo this once Season 3 is over and make an updated list. Also, one thing before we jump into today's list, this is my own personal opinion, and if I leave some of your favorite characters out, just go ahead and leave a comment down below telling me why they should have been on the list. I'd love to hear what you guys think, but with that out of the way, guys, let's go ahead and kick it off with number 10, Aberdolf Linkler, who is a humanoid experiment who debuted in the episode Risky Business. He was created when Rick combined DNA from Abraham Lincoln and Adolf Hitler in an attempt to create a morally neutral super leader. He failed, and the end result was a cognitive dissonant and morally confused emotional train wreck of a character who I absolutely love. I mean, the character name alone is enough to be hilarious, and during his little time on screen, he had some outstanding lines that had me absolutely dying laughing. Even though he dies in the only episode he was featured in, it is still a very memorable and classic character from the series.
Boy, what's that supposed to mean?
It's just, look, I don't know how you thought I meant.
Next up, we have Squanchy, who is one of Rick's best friends and an insanely funny character. We are first introduced to Squanchy in Season 1, also in the episode Risky Business, when Rick invites him to his house party. His language replaces many of the words with squanch and makes his dialogue so much fun and lots of squanch to listen to. He's also an alcoholic, and we even got to see him masturbating in Rick's garage, or he called it squanching. But possibly the best thing about Squanchy is his ability to turn into a giant monster version of himself, as we saw in the episode Wedding Squanchers. Once he drinks the green liquid from his side, his tooth, he becomes a huge killing machine. Hopefully we see more of Squanchy in Season 3.
Come on, this way!
Coming in at number 8 is Eep Zan Flop, who we saw in the episode Rick's Must Be Crazy, and he is the scientist that exists inside of Rick's microverse battery. I love Zeep because he is so similar to Rick, and his dialogue is incredibly well written, not to mention that he is voiced by Stephen Colbert. Zeep was only featured in the 1 episode, but he still exists inside the microverse battery, so hopefully we can see some more of him down the road in Season 3. One of the best and most common reoccurring characters in the show is Mr. Goldenfold, who is Morty's math teacher. He's always on edge and seems to have an anger problems, and he takes it out on his students, which makes for some hilarious scenes. We also know he has some repressed sexual desires for Summer, which he hides inside of his dreams. But there's also a lighter side to him, which is also pretty funny. We know that he's divorced and tries to cure the pain of his loneliness with Jamba Juice, and he has plenty of classic lines and moments throughout the seasons. He has been in a ton of episodes, so we can expect to see more from Mr. Goldenfield in Season 3 and beyond.
Morty, the principal and I have discussed it, and we're both insecure enough to agree to a 3-way.
Next up at number 6 is Scary Terry, who we are introduced to in the episode Lawnmower Dog. At first he appears to be a bloodthirsty nightmare, but he is really just misunderstood. Scary Terry was self-conscious about himself and how scary he was, and feared that he may not be terrifying enough to scare people, so he put a lot of pressure on himself because of that. This has made him very tense and on edge, until Rick and Morty entered his dreams and made him feel much better about himself. His character is obviously a parody of Freddy Krueger, and his constant usage of the word bitch is in reference to Freddy Krueger's one-liners, many of which included the word bitch. Scary Terry made the most out of his time on screen, making him a very memorable side character.
Halves don't belong together, bitch.
Just cracking my top 5 is Ice-T from the episode Get Swifty. And at first he appears to be just a real-world version of himself as a rapper and artist, but it's later revealed that he's actually an alien named Water T from the realm of Alpha Betrium, where he is exiled and frozen by his father, Magma Q. Not only does his character save Rick and Morty by deflecting a plasma beam that would have destroyed the Earth, but we later get to see him return to his home realm, where he regains his true form as Water T. At this moment, the world comes under attack by the Numericons, and his father dies from a ceiling collapse. Despite overwhelming enemy numbers, Water T pulls out his guns and bursts through doors, ready to crunch the numbers.
Where are you going? There's too many of them!
Then I better crunch the numbers.
Number 4 goes to another of Rick's best friends, Birdperson, who we first saw in the episode Risky Business. And he is one of the most unique characters in the entire show. His monotone voice and his weirdly written dialogue make him incredibly funny. He also hooks up and eventually marries Summer's friend Tammy, who we later find out is an undercover spy. It is in that episode that Tammy shoots and kills him, though. We do see him return as a cyborg person of himself, controlled by Tammy in Season 3, and he will now be called Phoenix Person. So it is safe to say that we have not seen the end of this character just yet, which is awesome because he's one of my all-time favorites.
And the reason I'm alive at all.
Coming in at number 3 on the list is everyone's favorite assassin, Bottleless Michael, who we first see in the episode Morty Night Run as a customer who buys high-tech weapons from Rick that he uses to kill his targets. He is the galaxy's most effective assassin and loves to kill. He claims he will kill just about anything, saying, quote, "I have very discreet, I have no code of ethics, I will kill anyone, anywhere, children, animal, old people, doesn't matter, I just love killing," end quote. Unfortunately, K. Michael was himself killed in that episode by Morty, who accidentally crashed Rick's ship into him. However, at the beginning of the episode, which Bottleless Michael dies, we see Rick claim an identification number by dropping off a Jerry at the interdimensional daycare, number 5126. At the end of the episode, we see that Rick and Morty, being followed throughout the episode, had incorrectly picked up Jerry 5126. As a result, some fans have theorized that the event of the episode followed a different Rick who was from a different dimension, meaning that in C-137 Ricks, who we've always been following, his Bottleless Michael might still be alive in his universe and therefore can appear again in future episodes. In our runner-up spot is Mr. Meeseeks. Now this has to be one of the funniest characters of any show I've ever seen. We got first introduced to them in Season 1, Episode 5, Meeseeks and Destroy, and they are creatures who were created to serve a singular purpose for which they will go to any length to fulfill, and after they serve that purpose, they obviously explode and vanish. They hate being alive and want to die as quickly as possible, and I absolutely love how they all talk, and they greet every person by saying, "I'm Mr. Meeseeks, look at me," and their dialogue is so witty and funny. I just love everything about it. Meeseeks are such a unique and memorable character, and like I said, I love them so much. And Dan Harmon, the creator of the show, co-creator, has stated that they will make an appearance in Season 3 in some way or fashion, so we have to keep our eyes peeled for them in Season 3.
Oh, okay.
Summer, what did I just...
Oh, I'm Mr. Meeseeks. Look at me.
I want to be a more complete woman.
Beth?
Oh, yeah.
Now, before we get into our number 1 spot, let's go over a few honorable mentions that just missed spots on our list. First off is Tiny Rick. Absolutely love Tiny Rick. Next up, we have Tammy. Obviously, Tammy's going to be playing some sort of role in Season 3, so hopefully we can see more from her. And finally, our last honorable mention is Principal Vagina, a very common and funny reoccurring character. Love him as well. But finally, our number 1 spot goes to everyone's favorite character, Mr. Poopy Butthole, who we first saw in the episode Total Recall, and it was even edited into the intro of that episode, and it's absolutely hilarious. Mr. Poopy Butthole is a wild, crazy, cartoonish, and zany character who is always going around spewing silly catchphrases and doing this crazy stuff. He's also shown to have been accompanied by Rick and Morty on multiple adventures and has experienced many great moments with the family. He is such a fond person to the Smith family that Beth can't even recall a single bad memory of him, which led her to wrongly think he was a parasite and shoot him. Fortunately, he survives, and we see him at the end credits of that and in the later episode of Wedding Squanchy at the end of that episode. He's a character who's a fan favorite, and I'm sure we will be seeing more of him in Season 3. But that is all we have time for today, guys. Let me know what you guys thought of the list down below. Did I miss anybody? Did I leave someone off the list? Did you guys want me to put someone else somewhere different? Let me know down in the comments down below. I hope you guys all enjoyed the video. If you guys did, do me a favor and hit that like button. It really helps out my channel. And if this is your first time on the channel, feel free to subscribe for more Rick and Morty content and your sub boxes with Season 3 coming out in just a few short days. Also, check out some of my previous Rick and Morty videos, links in the end slate. But guys, until next time, remember Remember, that's always came back time somewhere. Till then, take it easy and peace out.